Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Hit Start to Play podcast. It's your boy, Big Man Jack, and I am with my co-host, as usual.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you happen to be. I hope you're keeping safe during the current circumstances. Almost out of this hell now. Stay strong, boys and girls.
We're almost there. Almost. I'll tell you what, right, before we get into things, it's a little interesting fact. We're actually recording this episode 3 days after we've just recorded the last one. So this is the first time we've done this, because normally we record on Mondays, but your boy's on holiday next week. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm being safe. But I'm just off work, so I'm chilling. So we're a bit, I don't know what the word is. It's
slightly just not unorganized, just rushed, I think.
So this episode might be a bit different. You never know, but we move. We got this. We got this, boys.
Yeah, there's a surprising amount of news considering I literally had 2 days to plan this. So
and it's literally just come through in the last few days. So
yeah, all of this is like new. So
let's go.
We'll start off with the Outer Worlds RPG game from the developers of Fallout New Vegas.
Yes. Very good game, by the way.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah, I think so.
I enjoyed it.
The new DLC has just released. I believe it might be the last as well. I'm not sure. But Murder on Eridanos, I'm not even going to try. It's
Eric.
Something like that.
Okay.
Eric. It's the second DLC for the game. Introduces a new missions on the planet Eridanos where you'll meet new NPCs, get new weapons and armor, and partake in new quests and whatnot. I believe it is about $14.99 individually. Not sure what it converts to.
So expensive.
It's actually kind of pricey for DLC. Usually it's like 11.
Yeah.
But you can buy you can get obviously the season pass.
What is this? Black Ops 1 map pack? What are you on about?
Isn't it? 4 maps like 15 quid. Absolute rip off.
Disgusting behaviour, if you ask me.
But it launches March 17th, so yesterday it came out. And for PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, however, as I don't believe the Outer Worlds has actually been done for PS5 or anything yet.
No, I don't think so.
But so basically the little premise behind it is your character is hired to investigate the murder of Halcyon Helen. And this brand new storyline takes place obviously on Eridanos, home of the Rizzo's line of beverage distilleries. Not really sure. Obviously it's from the game, It's random. So apparently you do not need to finish the main quest in the vanilla game before you can do this. You only need to complete the radio-free Monarch quest.
Monarch's a cool city, to be fair.
Yeah. It's all you need to do is get past the planet Monarch, basically, and you can.
Isn't hard.
No.
It's not difficult.
It's not. They've raised the level cap to 36, and new perks and floors have been added to this DLC. There's a bunch of new locations and weapons that I'm not going to list them all off. I'll let you guys discover for yourself.
That's
but there is
strange level cap. 36. What?
They did it in New Vegas as well.
Why not just go 40?
Right. Every DLC they kept adding like weird levels.
Don't
know why. But there's a bunch of quests like it's probably worth it. There's like quick count for, I'm not going to just estimate, it's probably 15 to 20 new quests, so it's not actually that bad at all.
No.
So yeah, I'd definitely pick that up if you like the game. I would say
I would advise
hack
it.
Skill.
Good
Apparently
game.
The hack skill has been raised to 140 as well. I don't know why, but
big hacker man, Xbox 360 hacker man. Yeah, I got it.
Probably induces going to be a lot of hacking involved with this DLC.
That's cool.
But yeah, definitely pick that up if you like the game. So, moving on, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. This actually looks kind of cool. It reminds me a lot of the Simpsons arcade game that got released for Xbox 360 and PS3, where it was like a 16-bit game, like side-scrolling brawler game. It was an old arcade game that they sort of remastered into an actual console game.
Right.
Similar things happened here. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge features groundbreaking gameplay rooted in sort of an 80s style game sort of mechanic sort of world. brought to us by the same developers that brought the Streets of Rage franchise, which is a very, very popular old.
I remember Streets of Rage. Yeah,
old arcade sort of games. They're very, very nice games.
Good
for
fun.
the time. But I've actually had a look. This game does look really 16-bit, but it looks really nice. Looks hellacious as well. You can pick whatever turtle you like, obviously, and they all have their different like abilities and moves as you go about your quest to fight Shredder. Apparently, I haven't seen the films, but there's the Rhino. The two, are they both rhinos? I don't know their names.
Tell you.
It's like in one of the new films. There's like animal. There's like one's a rhino and one's I can't remember. Bebop. Oh, actually says here Bebop and Rocksteady. I don't know.
Pass.
Yeah, not a clue.
Not even.
I know they're like rhinos or something. But so it looks really fun. To be fair.
All right.
I think Bebop might be a pig. Something like that.
Up the pig gang. That's what you
pig
want.
Gang. But there's a bunch of new locations. Obviously, there's Manhattan and Coney Island, and apparently, as they describe it, dank sewers. I don't know, but
all right.
The game looks like it looks fun. I'm sure it'll be co-op as well. I don't know when the release date is for this. I don't think it has one yet. It just says 2021. So yeah, if you like that sort of thing, definitely
send it, mate. Go for it.
Give that a shot. Doom Eternal, something we've talked about quite a bit recently because its music is absolutely beautiful.
I'm still pumped from when I listened to it 3 days ago.
If ever I'm in a bad mood, I'll just put that on.
I mean, also it does make you, want to go to war. So I don't know. Maybe that's not such a good idea when you're
don't
angry.
listen to it in public. But the DLC for Doom Eternal, the Ancient Gods Part 2, has just released, I believe. I think it might be March 18th. Today, possibly. I'm sure it is. Yeah, sure it came out today, but it is the second, obviously, sort of expansion to the Ancient Worlds DLC. I'm not going to say a lot because it's only come out today, but basically a little quick sort of wrap up of this is the Doomslayer will lay siege to Imora, the Dark Lord's fortress in the heart of Hell, and if he can defeat that, Hell will be resealed forever. A bunch of new enemies, new weapons of like the Sentinel Hammer, which looks really cool, but I'll let you guys sort of see that.
Go and have a gander, boys.
It's got a very unique boss called the Dark Lord, who is he's a mirror of the Doomslayer, which is pretty cool. He has the same abilities that your character has. Sounds good. So yeah, I'm not going to say too much since it's only come out today.
Seems like a big week for DLCs.
I think
everyone's dropping DLCs left, right, and center.
I think it's just big games are getting DLCs recently, which it can be a good thing. Depends on the DLC, I suppose,
as long as they're good.
Well, yeah, but but yeah, go pick this up. I don't actually know how much this is, to be honest. I'd imagine probably similar to the Outworlds one.
Yeah, I'd assume so. It's probably like the going rate for DLCs nowadays.
For expansions. But next up, we've got a new game, something that is completely new IP-wise, and it is a game called Severed Steel, which shows off sort of sliding, stunting, and sharpshooting, as it's described. Very similar. I'm trying to think what the game's called. Super Hot is what it's sort of. It was an old game where basically time would stand still if you weren't moving. And it was very sort of, if you were good at it, it was really stylish. It looked really nice to play. It was a good game, actually.
I like visually appealing games, personally.
Yeah, it's very, very sort of high skill cap. The graphics look gorgeous, actually. It's very cartoony sort of style to it, but it looks really nice.
So are we talking like 13 cartoon-esque or Borderlands cartoon-esque?
I would say more Borderlands-y.
Okay.
Sort of, not sort of slightly cell shaded, but not quite to Borderlands level. But it looks
could be interesting.
Yeah, I guess. But it's inspired by other first-person shooters such as Mirror's Edge, so that sort of game, and Fear. That's actually what it kind of looks like graphically, is Mirror's Edge.
Okay, I rate that.
So
I like Mirror's Edge.
Cell shaded, but not quite as Borderlands sort of. Cell shaded, but it has destructible environments, lots of bullet time tricks, and for parkour, and very super
Oh,
hot.
hell yeah.
It sounds really cool. It does look really
Hardcore
cool.
parkour, boys.
You can't reload either. Like Mirror's Edge, when you run out of ammo with your gun, you just send it. Get a new one.
Who
So
needs more bullets? Just get a new gun.
Get a new gun. Easy fix. But it says from Greylock Studios said themselves, it's you, your trigger finger, and a steel-toed boot against a superstructure full of bad guys, chained together wall runs, dives, flips, and slides to take every last enemy down. So very high skill cap game. If you're very good, it will look very nice. If you're bad, you'll probably be miserable. So that's probably sort of what it is. It's planning to release in the second half of 2021. And it says here you can find it on Steam until then. Probably, I'm not sure. I don't think it's been released yet on Steam. I think that's just
coming. Once
they
get the green light, whatever it is.
Yeah, I believe Steam are getting it first. But there is from one of the developers that she says, I want Severed Steel to give players a feeling of entering a flow state in a chaotic environment. I want them to find themselves diving through the air, only a couple of rounds left in the magazine, with bullets whizzing by, rockets tearing up the environment. But they feel if they stay sharp, they can come out on top. So, type of game, Mirror's Edgy with a lot of guns. Sounds really cool.
That sounds like my real life, to be fair. That's what I get up to on a daily basis.
Who does this man think he is? Unbelievable.
You see me running up walls and jumping off buildings and stuff with like guns, it's just this is what I do, bro. You know what I mean?
Anyway, we'll see you next week. Unbelievable. But next up, this is something I'm not really bothered about, but it does look really cool, is Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance. Is a new up-and-coming third-person thing, I believe. It's like a third-person action role-playing game.
Okay. I always thought D&D was just the dice thing, is it? I didn't realize they actually did
Yeah, I think they have like it's a big franchisey sort of thing.
Oh yeah, it's huge, but I didn't realize that they actually have like games. I always thought it was just...
no, they got a few. But this is a spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance and Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. And this was originally slated for release on PC and consoles, but it got changed. I'm not sure why. Probably the what's going on. Probably hasn't helped.
Yeah, that affected a lot of things, didn't it?
Yeah, but it's set in the tundra region of Icewind Dale. I will not know. I don't know like Dungeons or Dragons, so I won't know anything what this means. But it will feature characters from the R.A. Salvatore's novel series, The Legend of Drizzt, including 4 playable characters: Drizzt, Duerden, Catti Bree, Bruno Battlehammer, and Wolfgar. And this game will include both single-player and multiplayer modes. And it is 4-player co-op as well.
Well, there you go.
It does look cool. It looks cool, and it is a game. Local co-op was initially announced, but got dropped. It seems to be happening a lot now, to be honest.
I don't think really people play local co-op anymore. I don't think it's like, it used to be one of those things you'd sit, with your friend on the sofa or whatever and play a game. And nowadays, first off, no one leaves the house. And second off, you just play multiplayer.
Yeah, and it also takes a lot of console power as well, split screen.
Yeah, so there's almost no point.
Never worth it. But if you like this sort of thing, it does look kind of cool. But I don't think I'll be getting it. But like, if you like that sort of thing, if you like Dungeons and Dragons and whatnot, definitely go for it.
Yeah.
Dropping later this year. The next one is a game we've mentioned a couple of times before, is Returnal, which is like the Mass Effect-y sort of thing. Story trailer was revealed not long ago. So basically they teased what was going to be happening, what the game's actually sort of about.
Mm-hmm.
And the trailer answered some questions that a lot of people had. So first one obviously being like, what is the game actually about? And
so that might be a good start.
Yeah, because we only got like a gameplay thing before, so we don't really know anything about it. But so the story follows a character called Serene, a Greek-American Astra deep space scout who is a complex and layered character that is driven to a fault, intelligent and resourceful. What? Okay, whoever wrote this article, grammar, please. But yeah, so that doesn't make sense. But so I think that's supposed to mean the character has to become resourceful because she's sort of dumped into this world and stuff's gone wrong because she crash lands in an alien like foresty sort of planet.
Mm.
So I think it's trying to say that the character has to kind of fend for herself. Wow. And she discovers the ruins of an alien civilization filled with statues, gates, a xenotech, and alien corpses. And of course, there's a lot of aliens involved all over the place.
Hold up. Did someone just say aliens?
Did someone say crossover?
Aliens? Bro, this is it's happening again.
Kingdom Hearts crossover. It's going to be final boss is Goofy.
Yeah, he's confirmed, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, all confirmed. Well, apparently, this Celine is the last human sort of alive in this game on this planet. And she is voiced by Diana Burnwood from the Hitman trilogy, actually.
Really?
It's the same woman, yeah.
Interesting. I mean, actually, not necessarily very interesting because her voice was really irritating after a while, so that might get annoying.
I mean, she's in a suit for the whole game, so it's probably going to sound a bit distorted, like she's talking for a mask. But
that's all right because her British accent is like.
Is she the one that like talks to you throughout the game?
Yeah, she's like 47.
Yeah. So it's voiced by her. She's apparently it's a really good performance, though.
It's definitely like an American way of thinking. That's how British people sound because it's so stereotypically British. It's annoying.
Yeah, very sort of upper class British. What people think British people sound like, but we actually don't.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was trying to get at.
Yeah. But there's a bunch of stuff that this sort of revealed. Another one being sort of how the world changes around you to kind of challenge you. Sounds a bit sort of Middle-earth, Shadow of War-y.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another one, relive other cycles that aren't your own. Apparently you discover the story of the alien civilization through a set of statues, which are called xeno-archives. And the disturbed writings found on xenoglyphs, and apparently you tell the story from sort of an alien's point of view, that you can sort of see what happened in this place and why this place is how it is.
Right.
Apparently, she discovers a load of her own scout corpses as well through this planet called Atropos or Atropos. I'm not sure how they want that's pronounced.
Atropos sounds better. It's about Atropos.
Atropos, and it there's like Dark Soulsy actually, where you'll often find dead bodies or blood stains on the floor in Dark Souls games that you can watch, and it will show how other players have died in the area.
Yeah,
it's got a similar sort of thing, and it shows other players' deaths in Returnal, at the conclusion of which you can decide to scavenge the remains of the other players for items or avenge their death, which trigger events that are best discovered when you play. So they haven't said a lot about that really. And it's uncover a deeper mystery in first person. So although the game is primarily a third person game, you can switch between the three. You can go into the two rather.
Two? Yeah, we're going to second person.
Second person just bricks the game.
The console just catches fire and you're like, oh, well, great.
So yeah, it sounds really cool. I think I'd definitely pick this up. I think it looks really good.
Okay.
It's Mass Effect-y. And it releases April 30th for those of you that want this.
There you go.
Next up, Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. There's not a lot on this game. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of this franchise. But it's popular because this is the 8th game in the franchise.
I just give it a rest.
So I don't know. It releases 4th of June. There's not a lot of information because it only just got sort of announced.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, if you like slow-paced, boring, tactical sniper games, go for it. Other than that,
if you want to sit there for about a week and shoot one person and be my guest.
Yeah, pretty much. But next, Where the Heart Leads drops on PS4, PS5. I believe it is a Sony exclusive on July 13th. This game looks absolutely beautiful. It's a puzzle game, I believe, and it's just graphically it's very sort of indie, and it looks a game that it looks like The Witness and Firewatch are two games it looks very similar to. Both indie games, both absolutely beautiful games too. Very similar. And how it's described: when husband and father Whit Anderson, they've only got one of their names. Sony really need to step up their blogs here. Like,
sort it out, boys.
When husband and father, and then they've got, there's no punctuation, so I don't even know what that's supposed to say. But this guy, Whit Anderson, descends into a sinkhole to save the family dog. So he's got.
All right. No, I rate that. You know,
John Wick.
I'd yeet myself into a sinkhole to save a dog.
Yeah, same. So basically, I'm guessing he goes all John Wick. He unwittingly tumbles into a journey through time, suddenly enveloped by visions of his past, present, and future. Whit discovers that he can change time, altering the courses of his and others' lives forever. And apparently it just described there are memories to make in the game. And the narrative experience is described to wrap its arms around you. So very sort of indie.
That sounds kind of cool, you know.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like a difficult or frustrating game. It seems to be quite a comforting, like The Witness. It's very sort of pleasant. I think is a good word, but it looks really good. Drops June. I think this could be because I believe this is an indie game. I don't think this would be a full.
Probably still be 70 quid.
Thing. Oh yeah, probably. And it's said that it's very similar to games like Heavy Rain, which was a fantastic game in its day.
What was that? What was it? What's the guy's name? That he shouts because he glitches, isn't it?
Jason. Jason.
Jason.
The kid walks off with a balloon,
and he's Jason. Jason.
Every 2 seconds, just screaming this kid's name. But a lot of branching paths and things, apparently. So
I like games like that, like Detroit and stuff like that. You know, you can just do some different things. Yeah,
there's a bunch of stuff. But that drops June. Looks quite nice. I think I'd recommend picking this up, to be honest.
Yeah.
But the next one, Warhammer 40k, massive franchise, is is leaked. That a new game is on its way called Necromunda Hired Gun. Leaked Wednesday on the Microsoft storefront. Not sure if the release date's been sort of announced yet. But so it's a first-person shooter set in the world of Warhammer 40,000, and it appears to have leaked. This isn't something I don't think that was supposed to have been announced yet, but it got leaked.
It always amazes me how things get leaked.
Yeah, this is an Xbox exclusive as well, I believe.
Microsoft, come on, boys.
So something's been leaked somewhere. So it's based on like the Warhammer started with is like the board game with toys and stuff.
Yeah. To paint the figures and stuff.
Yeah. This is based on that, and it's the first title to allow players to experience this franchise from the first-person perspective, and players will take on the role of a lone mercenary aided by a partially robotic dog called Cyber Mastiff, and they'll be able to upgrade their character with customizable augmentations, allowing them to run on walls and leap over chasms. A lot of parkour today. And that's according to the official description as well. But it sounds all right. If you like, I wouldn't have a clue. I'm not a Warhammer person.
No, I used to be actually as a kid, but not.
Yeah, I played one of the games on like Steam, but it apparently there's grenades made out of rats as well. I don't know.
No, hold on, bro. No, what you're telling me? I could yeet a rat at someone and it's going to blow up.
Yeah, apparently.
You've sold the game to me. That's it. I don't even care. But the game can be dookie as long as I'm throwing rats at people. That's sick. I like that.
But it looks kind of cool. The franchise obviously hasn't always been. The last Necromunda game was received really poorly, but it's a new studio, and the studio has an excellent track record. Releasing Space Hulk Deathwing in 2016 that was received really, really well. So yeah, it looks promising.
Nice.
We'll have to wait and see. And the last bit of news, there's been a lot.
It's been popping this week.
Yeah, it's been like literally every time I look, there's something new. But the next game in the Life is Strange series is coming this September. Really popular story-driven franchise. And it features a new protagonist with all new powers. And unlike previous entries in the series, Life is Strange True Colors won't be episodic. It's always been like a Telltale sort of system where they release like episode 1 and then 2 like a bit later. The whole thing's been released in one game on September 10th. Square Enix and developer Deck9 revealed this at the Square Enix digital showcase that happened today. I believe that happened.
Okay.
Didn't have time to look into all the games revealed. I might look into that for the next episode.
It's been a busy week, boys.
Yeah, it's been. But you play Alex Chang, I believe is her name. Okay. And she possesses supernatural powers in the form of psychic empathy. She can read and manipulate the strong emotions of others, which she perceives as sort of colors. And intense emotions can supposedly overwhelm Alex, and as seen in the trailer, go watch that. That will kind of describe it better than I can. But she will use her abilities to uncover the truth behind a mystery, which I believe is the death of her brother, which is described as an accident, but it's not an accident, I think, is what it's supposed to be.
And she's on the route to try and find out who did it.
Yeah, like Life is Strange. They're fantastic little games, and I recommend picking this up if you've played the others, because apparently actually True Colors will be available in a deluxe edition, which features an exclusive story called Wavelengths, and an Ultimate Edition, which will include fully remastered versions of the original Life is Strange and Life is Strange Before the Storm games too.
Well, there you go.
That sounds actually quite appealing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely for anyone that enjoys the series, go for it.
In September, I recommend. But that is the news. Thank God.
Well, you know what? Now, after all the news and all the here's more news. Well, it's not even news, is it? I mean, it's happening and it's happened. Like,
it's so we'll be talking about.
Yeah, we've sort of touched on it in previous episodes, and we've spoken about it between us. But the big topic of this week, the amazing, the brainchild of this week is we're going to be pretty much talking about Bethesda going to Xbox.
Yeah, it is officially done.
It's over now. So that what do you? I guess the real question is, what does this mean? Like, is this the forefront of all different gaming developers almost picking sides now? Or is this just going to be a one-off? I don't know.
So, in an article here, now this worries me a little bit, and I'll get to why in a minute. So, as one of the largest, most critically acclaimed, privately held game developers and publishers in the world, absolutely, Bethesda is an incredibly talented group, yes.
Agreed.
And along with this, so Bethesda comes with a bunch of stuff. So they bought Bethesda, which includes Bethesda Game Studios, obviously, ID Software, ZeniMax Online Studios, Arcane, Machine Games, Tango Gameworks, Alpha Dog, and Roundhouse Studios. Now, that's a lot. That's a big package, and it obviously explains like the $7 billion.
Yeah, 7.5. I think it comes to in the end.
Yeah, 7.8, I think.
Yeah.
But the scary thing is these are the teams responsible for, and this is a big list of like world-class sort of beloved games. So franchises like The Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Wolfenstein, Doom, Dishonored, Prey, Quake, Starfield, and many, many more have all gone to Microsoft. This is scary to me.
Bill Gates, please.
This is like, this says to me, and this is confirmed also as well, that Phil Spencer, the head of Microsoft, has said, I believe he's the head of Microsoft. I know he's big up in there. But he has said,
probably.
He's always the one that goes out on E3 and talks about Microsoft. And he has basically said future Bethesda games will be exclusive to platforms where Game Pass exists. And Game Pass is a Microsoft thing that is currently on Xbox, which says to me, Xbox is going to have Bethesda games in the future, which is scary.
It's an issue.
For me, obviously, if we go back to the list of games, We have Elder Scrolls. I love it. Fallout, Wolfenstein, Doom, Dishonored are all franchises I personally love.
Yep.
And they're all gone. Like they will all be Microsoft only by the looks of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's difficult because it's inevitable, right? I think because as we progress into, into the future of gaming almost, because we don't know what it's going to be in 10, 20 years time. And Microsoft being the company size that it is, obviously is like, God knows how many more times bigger than Bethesda in terms of that. So I feel like the sale sort of, I reckon they agreed it because it's almost like a safety blanket for the future for Bethesda, because Microsoft isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
No.
Let's be honest.
No, not a chance, no.
So, you're under the blanket of Microsoft. So you're safe almost, aren't you? You're
I think as well. No, Bethesda again they're not going anywhere anytime soon. They're one of the biggest gaming corporations on the planet. But if Microsoft came to me and said, "Do you want like almost 8 billion?" but all of your stuff comes to us, I'm taking it.
You're gonna say yes, aren't you? Like,
yeah.
There's no way you're gonna turn that down.
Statistically, also in an article, Bethesda has always been bigger on Xbox as well, sales-wise and whatnot, than on Sony.
The problem is you shutting out an entire market is just not the way to go, I don't think.
No, especially not for franchises like Elder Scrolls and Fallout, two obviously beloved franchises. Suddenly, a big group of people will not be able to play these games. Elder Scrolls comes to mind originally.
Yeah,
just because thing, isn't it? 2026 when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, which is the supposed date now, because they're probably too busy making.
Did you just say 2026?
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe it was announced at E3 like 2019, I think.
Okay.
And it's 2026 is the release date for it supposedly, which means they're probably working on Skyrim again for the 15th time. I don't know what they're doing, but there is coming, but it looks like it probably will not be on Sony consoles.
Skyrim
might be on PC.
V20
is the Xbox? Yeah, is the Xbox Game Pass on PC? I'm gonna actually have a look.
Potentially. I mean, it would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, so you'll get these games on PC and Xbox, but not Nintendo Switch or PS5.
Such a horrible idea. It really is. I mean,
they are. I don't think this will backfire on them too much, to be honest.
I guess the argument for me would be, obviously, you saw how well God of War did, and that's just Sony, right? And that game did phenomenally, didn't it?
Yeah, so, well, yeah.
Obviously, there are arguments for it, but
yeah, game of the decade.
Compared to, like, obviously, I know God of War isn't the only game in a franchise.
The thing with that, God of War Ragnarok is not going to be Sony exclusive. So
that's what I mean. Like, if it did phenomenally on Sony, and Bethesda have done phenomenally across all platforms, now they're funneling themselves into just one, one channel. I mean, I don't know the statistics. Obviously, I would assume that there's probably more PC gamers, but I think as in terms of console gamers, I think people more lean towards Sony. PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5.
Sony consoles outsell Xbox,
So you're cutting off that market completely in the hope that the Xbox and PC keep you, not obviously they're going to stay relevant, it's Bethesda, but do you see what I mean? Like, you're going to lose a huge chunk, I think, of players.
Potentially.
I think it's got high potential to go wrong. I really do.
It could. I don't think this will backfire for now, just because of the sheer cost that Bethesda just lumped because of this. Well, it makes sense, but
it makes sense. Yeah, no, I agree.
In the future, like we're talking years down the line, the things might not be exclusive, but that's just what Phil Spencer said. Says the future for now, it will be on Game Pass platforms, which obviously Sony don't have, or neither did Nintendo.
Yeah,
and he has said though that obviously I cannot sit here, and this is a direct quote from Phil Spencer. Obviously, I cannot sit here and say every Bethesda game is an Xbox exclusive because we know that is not true and would be ridiculous. So it's a bit contradictory where he said, but I think another thing he has said is there's contract obligations that we're going to see through. We have games that exist on other platforms, and we are going to go and support those games on the platforms they're on. There's communities of players. We love those communities, and we'll continue to invest in them, either contractual things or legacy on different platforms that we'll go and do, even if the future for Bethesda on Xbox might be there. So it's not saying every single Bethesda title forever is going to be Xbox exclusive.
As of right now, that's
and as he continues, he says, if you're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists, so Xbox PC, basically, is what he said. He said, that's our goal, that's why we are doing this, that's the root of this partnership that we are building, and the creative capability we'll be able to bring to market for Xbox customers is going to be the best it's ever been for Xbox after we're done here. Which I think he's right. He's right.
Do you know what? Right, this is ready for Jack's controversial opinion. I'm gonna make this a little section. I reckon I think he's chatting utter rubbish, and hear me out. Right. So what I gathered from what you've just, like the quote you've just given, is they're doing it for the people. It's pretty much what that.
Yeah, they're doing it for Xbox customers. Yeah.
I think that's a lot of rubbish, mate. Do you know why? You pay 7.5 billion or whatever it is for this company that make the games like Elder Scrolls, like Fallout, that everyone knows, and you're obviously like they're gonna make that, and they're gonna make their money back in, give it 5-10 years,
absolutely,
if not more. So for him to sit there and say they've acquired it for the people, shut up, man. You haven't acquired it for the people. If you'd acquired it for the people, you wouldn't have put it straight onto Xbox Game Pass or whatever it's called straight away, saying that the new ones, like obviously it's not permanent, but for now they're going to be Xbox exclusives. If you were doing it for the people, you wouldn't have done that. Because, like I said before, you're driving out an entire market. So to sit there and then contradict yourself and say, I'm doing it for the people, but at the same time, these people can't play the new games. I'd rather them just say, look, we've bought it to forward Microsoft in the game because we've fallen behind in terms of exclusives, because I would say it's quite well known that Sony have done exclusives a lot better than Microsoft over the last few years. Now, I think they're trying to compete with that. So buying Bethesda in the hopes that the new Fallout games or the new Elder Scroll games that will be Xbox exclusive for now are going to drive more people to go towards Xbox, if you see what I mean. So
which it absolutely will.
And that's what I mean. So for us,
I would get an Xbox myself to play these games for sure. Like for me, and a lot of people will agree there.
I think so.
But the takeaway that I'm just reading here is that games currently available on other platforms, so this thing like Skyrim, Fallout 4, Doom, will not be affected by this.
Right. So
they will stay. But and two games that have been revealed for this year, next year, called two games, Deathloop and Ghostwire, which are Bethesda games. I believe ZeniMax, I believe, is who's making it. They will still come out on PS5. However, future games will be exclusive where Game Pass exists, currently meaning Xbox and PC. So there's the games in the past. So you can still play Skyrim, Fallout, whatever, which is good. It's a good thing. If they just kind of shut the whole thing off, I think people would be very upset.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But you're not going to get away with that.
No, but they said future games, however. So does this mean Fallout 5 when that eventually comes around? Elder Scrolls 6.
It's going to be
next
Xbox
Doom.
exclusive.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
But it says Microsoft and Bethesda have now confirmed more will be revealed during a special showcase event scheduled for this summer. So we don't know everything yet.
I mean, what you expected to take from that? You know,
I think, yeah,
you can't be optimistic. I don't think.
As much as I think Phil Spencer is a very good PR man, he's always very good at E3, and he has tried, I think, to sort of sugarcoat it a bit and say yes and no to like what's going on. I think the bottom line is like games of the past will be okay. You can still play these games, but when games like the Elder Scrolls 6 come around, which let's be real is going to be probably the biggest game of the decade, when it drops, it probably won't be available on Sony or Nintendo products, which I don't think is the right move.
No,
it's a huge move for Microsoft in terms of Microsoft's sales will boost a lot.
Of course it will. Yeah.
But for the game industry as a whole, I don't think this is a good move. For example,
it's brave. I'll give them that.
It's a bit just, I don't know the word, restrictive. Whereas like with God of War, for example, came out, no one expected to do as well as it did.
Yeah.
Came out for Sony exclusive, came out, one game of the year, one game of the decade, and then they've realized, okay, a lot of it was one of the games. If you ask like Xbox and PC players, it's one of the games that they regret not being able to play. So they've decided, all right, well, let's make it not exclusive then. Like that's more for the people. Is just turning around and saying we need to allow everyone to play this.
Yeah.
Same Horizon Zero Dawn as well came out.
Yeah, that came out on PC, didn't it?
Yeah, for the same reason. And we've got games like Days Gone and Bloodborne coming to PC just for the same reasoning.
Yeah. I mean, do you think
Microsoft are kind of spearheading it towards them, which will do wonders for Microsoft? Of course it will.
But anything else?
For the industry as a whole, I think this is restrictive.
Yeah, I do.
But of course, like because of this as well, I've just read another article here. 20 iconic Bethesda games have just been added onto the Game Pass for Xbox. So if you do have Xbox Game Pass, go and check. Some of these games are absolutely incredible. So I'll give you the quick list. There's 20 as of March 12th that have been added. Please go and play these. Now you have that sort of honor that you can. Yeah. Because none of us can. So just go and enjoy it. So you've got Dishonored 2. Doom 1993, the original Doom, where first-person shooter sort of kind of began. Please go and play that if you have Xbox. It's a wonderful game.
Very good.
Doom 2, Doom 3, Doom 64, Doom Eternal, The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, which absolutely fantastic. Still rated as one of the best Elder Scrolls games, if not the best ever made. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, obviously Skyrim, The Elder Scrolls Online, The Evil Within, Fallout 4, Fallout 76. You're not missing much with that one. Don't worry about that one. Fallout New Vegas, please go and play that. Prey, Rage 2, you're not missing much there either. Don't worry about that one.
No.
Wolfenstein The New Order, Wolfenstein The Old Blood, Wolfenstein Young Blood. One big one missing there for me is Fallout 3, isn't there?
I didn't even clock that, to be honest.
The 2016 Doom isn't there either.
So what's happening with Fallout 3, I wonder?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Maybe the game just doesn't exist anymore. I don't know.
Iconic Bethesda games, and they put Rage 2.
Yeah, best game in the world. What do you mean?
That's not even an old game. Like, how you can't call something iconic when it's been out 2 years and it bombed. Like, instead of Rage 2, you could put Fallout 3 there. Easily. Or instead of having, let's look at some of these stinkers. The Evil Within was up there. It was all right. Instead of having that, you could have had Doom. I don't know. The strange choice, some of those, but some of those absolutely go and play while they're on Game Pass, which will probably be now forever. I don't imagine they'll ever leave. Game Pass now.
I think Game Pass sounds all right. To be fair, doesn't it? Like
Game Pass. When I played Xbox One more, like primarily, I had Game Pass, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because it's like with PS Now, obviously you lose all of the games when like the games rotate.
Yeah.
Whereas Xbox Game Pass is a bit different, and it works a lot better, I think, than PS Now. Which, let's be honest, I don't think PS Now is very good.
Well, it's all old games, really, isn't it? More than anything.
Yeah, it's you get like one big game, but then you only get it for like a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
kind of dookie.
It's not worth it for being more expensive, I think, as well than Game Pass.
Yeah, I don't know how much. I don't know how much.
It's like $5.99 or something a month, whereas Game Pass I think it's like $3.99, and it's better. Yeah, I believe so, something like that. It wasn't a lot when I was looking at it, but I don't think this is a good move for Microsoft alone here.
Yeah.
I mean, and Bethesda's obviously getting a fat payout from this.
Oh, of course, yeah, but
like I understand. Oh, sorry, yeah. PC, console, and mobile, you can play these.
Oh, do you know what? That's
who's gonna sit and play Skyrim on mobile?
That sold me, mate. That's it. I changed my mind.
Mobile. Who's gonna sit there and play like Fallout 4 on mobile?
Some psychopath will love it.
What phone can run Fallout 4?
Pass. I think mine would explode.
Like, yeah, so am mine. Like, I couldn't run any of these games. Maybe Morrowind, yeah. Old Doom, yeah. But other than that, my phone would literally combust.
Legit. But
so I don't know. I think this is one of them. If you're already on Xbox or PC, this is brilliant.
If you're on anything else,
yeah, you can get in the bin. Like, you can literally get in the bin. And I don't like that Phil Spencer has sat here and said, we're doing this for the players, when you're literally spearheading one of the most beloved and biggest gaming corporations on the planet into your platform.
Yeah.
Whereas you have Sony, who are openly partnering with PC to bring their exclusives onto it so other people can play, which is the way you want it to go in a world where, like, Xbox and like Sony keep tweeting each other like "love you" and stuff. Like, there's like, I don't know why. It seemed like everything was sort of coming together. Like they keep tweeting each other. Like PlayStation and Xbox keep tweeting each other, going, "Oh, I wish you both like all the success and everything."
Yeah.
So you'd think they were starting to get along, and then it's like, no, if you're on Sony, you can get in a bit. No one likes these games other than us. Oh, okay.
Do you know what, Ben? I love you.
What the hell? Same. I was not expecting that. Okay. Love you too. But
I just, everyone was just saying like love and stuff. So I wanted to get involved.
Yeah, just this is where it was leading. I love you.
It's
definitely
like an interesting move, I think.
It's actually got me worked up a little bit here. Sitting there, like, I'm getting annoyed because it's like
sitting there sweating because I'm so angry.
Yeah, it's like Phil Spencer sitting there saying for the players and then completely blockading a whole big group of players.
If not the bigger group, almost, I think. Especially in terms of console.
Oh, consoles, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So
well, even the Switch outsold the Xbox One.
Yeah.
So
it's just Microsoft, isn't it? It's just corporations. It's what is it? Capitalism, pretty much, and it's just corporations taking over other corporations in hope of having the biggest, the biggest possible company. And
that's capital. Yeah, that's literally how to win at capitalism.
It's literally not about gamers anymore. That sounds so tragic and nerdy, but it ain't about gamers anymore. It's about who's got the most money and who's got the most influence. That's why indie developers are the way forward. That's why, because they care, because they're tiny and they care about their platforms and they care about their audience.
Yeah, like go back to 2018, more God of War.
Mm-hmm.
Think of some of the other Game of the Year candidates that year. Celeste, indie game, one of the best games of the decade. This thing, Limbo, Inside, The Witness, in all like indie games, but all absolutely just like they're beautiful.
Yeah,
and it just shows like it's not hard to make. Yeah, but because of these corporations are so big, people will buy their stuff no matter what. So it's and this is going to bring a lot of people to Microsoft. Of course it will, but that's not a good thing.
No.
It's like they're trying to shut off, and who says it stops here?
That's the worry. Is
like, yeah, they just got Bethesda, but what happens if it's tomorrow? It's Guerrilla Games,
EA,
Insomniac, EA. Who says it's to stop? They already tried with EA and Ubisoft. Got told no.
EA EA will give up because they just love money. So
same with Ubisoft, yeah. How many times have you got to sort of try before they go, all right, is another 8 billion?
Sony just need to be like, yo, come on, boys, come over here. just to
I don't think they would.
No, I don't.
That's the thing. But I don't really know what else to say on it. It's just I don't think this is a good way forward for the industry as a whole, really.
No, I think it's we'll see. We'll see, I guess. But yeah, I think this episode was going to be shorter anyway. Because it's not long after the other one, really, is it? But I think we can sort of leave it there before we end up getting into a huge just start having mental breakdowns. So
now, one thing I will do actually is there is a big roundtable event on this where Phil Spencer spoke to a lot of people at Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
I will link this in. Let me just copy it into the Discord now so I remember. Bethesda spoke with Phil Spencer about this.
Right.
It's about an hour and 20 minutes long. You don't need to watch the whole thing, but I will link it in the description as it is there are some very important bits in there. So watch from 9:30 odd minutes in if you're going to watch this. I strongly encourage some of you to do that.
Have a gander.
Yeah, as it describes it better than we can.
Yeah.
But it's also very sort of worrying.
Coming straight from the horse's mouth, I think the term is.
Yeah. That's probably the best place to get this.
Yeah.
So I will link it. Please go and check it out if you are at all interested in this, as this is a big thing.
Yep.
But he will describe it better than we will. A lot of it is sugar coated. I have watched most of this. A lot of it is sugar coated, and a lot of it is sort of good PR.
Yeah, just trying to save face, isn't it?
Looking at the comments to this as well, a lot of it's very positive. As well in the comments. So
Microsoft friends.
Yeah, it's all very positive, which is a bit
worrying, but
yeah, it's also confirmed. I just saw Microsoft's first party games on Game Pass stay forever. So that means now Bethesda games will be on there forever too, which is a really good move, to be honest. It's very clever, but it's just not good for the industry as a whole.
Oh yeah, it's a clever move in terms of being like the corporation themselves, but anything else.
Also, one thing I find worrying. If you look at the description for this sort of thing, it's all in the comments. So you lot watching us, go and look at the comments and watch this. It's very, very odd how a lot of these comments now. This has been changed by Microsoft since I watched this, but a lot of the comments are saying, "Why does the description mention Half-Life, which is Valve?" Oh no!
Yeah, watch this space, boys. Valve going to Microsoft.
I'm not going to start sitting here and saying, because there's obviously nothing on this. It could have been a mistake, but that's a big mistake to make, and a lot of people are commenting on it, saying Half-Life Alyx was the one they mentioned. Why would you mention that randomly when there's nothing to do with Bethesda?
I'm gonna move to Mars, bro.
Elon Musk, just take me to Mars,
yeah, come on,
please.
man. Let's go. Me, you, Elon Musk, and our Dogecoins, and we could just leave.
There's also quite a decent amount here about Obsidian, which the people that made Outer Worlds for like New Vegas. And basically, someone described this really well in the comments, and someone asked, "So, are Microsoft buying Bethesda or Obsidian?" And it just says Xbox, just yes. So it looks like the Outer Worlds in the future might, if they make an Outer Worlds 2, will probably be Xbox exclusive as well. Can't remember what else Obsidian are known for other than New Vegas, and
I'm just never going to play another video game ever again.
Yeah, it's a shame, but that will be linked. So please do go and check that out. It's quite long, but it's very important if you are interested in the industry, and it is interesting. There's a lot of it's just chatting rubbish, to be honest.
Yeah.
So just go and watch that and see what you guys might think of it.
That's it. Well, that was. Okay, so it's that time again. It's that time again for the selfless plug, as we're going to wrap up this episode. If
a bit more positivity, yeah.
Yeah, why not? Let's get positive, boys. Okay, right. Time to load up the script. No, I'm joking. Check us out on YouTube, boys. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to our channel for future content. Remember that we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And to be perfectly honest with you, most places that you wish to listen to your podcasts will be on there. So have a look. Yeah. Make sure that you check out our website, hstp.co.uk. That's hstp.co.uk. I haven't spoke too much about the website, but there is features on there that you can check out. You can leave us comments. You can actually leave us a voicemail. So if that's something you're interested in, if you want us to hear your beautiful voice, maybe if we get enough, we can include them in the episode and we can react to them. Maybe we can look into that. Yeah. Make sure that you join our Discord server. We're, to be perfectly honest with you, we're not the most active in there, but we're in there. So if you want to join, at us, got any questions?
It's probably the best place to get us quickly. I think
absolutely. Yeah. So jump in at one of us. One of us is normally on there most of the time. Episodes will go live 6 p.m. GMT on Sundays, and the clips go live onto YouTube on Tuesdays and Fridays. So make sure you go check them out and show them some love. Follow us all follow us on all of our socials, which we only really use Instagram and Twitter, but that's hit start to play on both of those. I think that is everything from me, unless you have anything else to add.
There's actually one thing I completely forgot to mention, just a quick one. If you play the Avengers game, I don't know how many of you still do, probably 6 of you. The Hawkeye is now available, and Black Panther has just been announced. So, which is quite nice. Obviously, with Chadwick Boseman passing not too long ago, it's a nice little caveat to him. A nice thing that wasn't originally planned. So, yeah, that's all from me.
There you go. Little Avengers thing right at the end. Happy
just
days,
for a bit of positivity.
Right, lads. We'll see you next week. That sounds really weird saying, even though it'll be 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, technically,
pretty much. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll speak to you in a few weeks. Adios. Goodbye.
Bye.